What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in a Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this beautiful Toyota Supra wide body, modded in by Lit, but this wide body made by Payne. Lovely little collaboration effort between the two of them there. 120,000 kilometers on this one. We got it from the auction house. Can get it from the barn as well, but we got ours from the auction house. Not in too bad condition, around 50% all the way around. It isn't horrible. Did we get a good deal? No, absolutely not. We bought this one for 193,136. I'm gonna sell it for 143,025, losing out on 50,111 before we've even start. I don't even know if we can claw this back. I don't know how much this car is going to sell for. This is a bit of an experiment. Can we claim back 50k on one car? We need to get into it and find out. But before we do that, just a quick say, this has got the i6 double overhead cam BU2 turbo engine, currently pumping out 556 horsepower. We're going to be putting performance parts on this one today, so it should increase quite a bit, but we shall see by the time we get there. Hopefully this will get some good runs on the drag strip and make it on to the speeder board. Before we jump into this one, I just want to say the next competition has started. Big shout out to Payne again. Well done for winning the last one. We are working on the Valsen 2040, the law game car Volvo looking thing. Any mod you like, you can, not any mod, any version you like of that car, you can make your own, create your own, paint it how you want, make it as cool as you want, put a V12 in it if you really fancy it, enter it to the competition and see who wins. This competition will run until a week today now. It's already started. We've already got a few entries. There's a week from now to build yours. Get it uploaded onto the Discord. Link in the description below. Bit of fun on this one. I'll be doing mine. Obviously, next Wednesday, my video will go out for my Valsen. So we'll see. But let's get this one over to the car wash. Let's get it started by getting it cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash. It's not too bad anyway, but let's get it cleaned up. It's white. It's probably not going to stay white. We'll see. It depends what happens with the liveries we've got today. Body all clean. Let's get the interior done. There you go. Then we'll rip that i6 engine out of there, start stripping everything down and get it ready to go back together. Wide body Supra's in the air. Let's check for the oil pan. It is there, so let's go and get that drained out. Now, this should be very dirty, but it's all been all over the shop recently, so let's find out. Pretty clean for a car that has got a lot of miles on it. How many has it got? 120,000. Very well looked after. But if I had a wide body Supra, I'd definitely be looking after it as well. Let's see what we got going on down here. So that front exhaust section doesn't connect to anything, but the exhausts do come out the sides here. Okay. Never mind, sometimes you have to deal with things like that when creating configs. Not everything lines up perfectly. So let's get this drive shaft out of here. Out you come. All 4 bolts. No rusty so far. There we go. First rusty bolt. 8 bolts in with 1 rusty. Not too bad. Where's the starter? Just sitting over here. Out you come. And then we'll grab that gearbox out of there. There we go. Nice and simple. Now, as these 2 bits aren't actually connected, we will take this front exhaust section out in case it doesn't want to let me when I pull the engine out. Let's just have a look what we've got here. Nothing too special. It is rear-wheel drive, as you would expect from a lovely little Supra. Let's get it back down and get that engine ripped out of there, as long as we have got everything, that is. So it's time to find out. Get the hood open, and let's have a look. That is everything. That's excellent news. That is what I like to see. Let's get back in and see what's going on inside the engine bay. So we've got a ABS pump and a module just up here. Lovely little battery, a brake servo, a power steering reservoir, a coolant reservoir, a wishy-washy reservoir, and a radiator with no fan housing kit, and then a large intercooler just down here as well. Not too bad. What's down the back, if anything? Oh, I can't even get to it. There we go. Just the fuel tank and fuel pump. So we'll grab the full fuel pump out just because we're here. And it jump back down to the front. There it is. I was looking for that. I was thinking there's got to be an ECU in here somewhere. There is one hiding just down there. And the fuse box is just up here. Let's get the lid off of that one. Nice and easy. Lots of fuses in there. Time to drain some liquids. I'm going to grab them all from here. So it's right-click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and I'll be back in just a couple of moments. There we go. That's all the liquids drained. Let's start ripping them out of all of these reservoirs. It's a good place to start. We'll grab the brake servo. And we'll grab the radiator. Out comes with the battery. Got to remember to throw that one on charge. ECU, I've got to remember to buy the performance version of it. And let's get this ABS module off. And then grab the pump out of there. There we go. And there we go. think that's everything for the engine bay, apart from the fuse box, but we'll deal with that in a bit. Off with this front wheel, and let's see what we've got going on in the suspension. Out you come. So we've got the hubcap, that's a good sign. We've got the sway bar end link, we've got the inner and outer tie rod, double wishbone, the shock, and the hub bearing is there as well. Very complete on that side. Probably going to be the same all round because all the wheels were on. Sway bar end link, inner and outer tie rod, a hubcap, and a bearing, both wishbones. And the shock is there as well. Do we have all the rubber bushings? 1, 2, swing around to this side. 3 and 4. We do. Let's get another wheel off down the back and see what we've got going on down here. Out you come. Disc brake. We've got the rear drive axle. We've got the bushing there, and bushing there. 1, 2, 3. And the fourth arm is there because the spring is sat on it with the sway bar end link and the shock there as well. That side's pretty complete. On the other side, bushing, 1, 2, 3, 4 arms. The spring's all there, the shock's there, and the sway bar end link plus the drive axle. Not too bad at all. I need to crack on and get up to that fuse box somehow. Let's get the fuse box out of here. Then we'll get the rest of the suspension out, get everything ready, and then we'll move on to this beautiful bodywork, getting it all repaired, nice and shiny, ready to head over to the paint booth. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded on the mechanical side of things. We need to strip this body down before we head over to the paint booth. Well, we need to strip it down and build it back up before we need to head over to the paint booth. So let's get in with it. Let's go. Out with the hood, out with both of these fenders. I'm assuming these fenders are specifically wide body ones. We will check out the shop in a minute. I know we missed it for French toast build, but we had seen it before. Out with the windshield, off with the door. What have we got? Rear fender. That's a bit of a beast there. There we go. Quarter panel window. Got to remember that one. Out with the rear bumper, out with the trunk. Does that grab the spoiler? It does, but it doesn't grab the lights. Out you come, out you come. Out with that rear wide fender there. Quarter panel window and the door. God, that body is terrible. I never noticed how bad it was before. But anyway, let's get inside and grab the interior. Out with these seats and that steering wheel there. And do we have everything? Quick way to find out. Into here, 1%. That's a good sign. But click on this one. And there is nothing on... Oh, I'm not even on page 1. Let's go back to page 1. Rear clamshell. Oh, that's this roof piece. There we go. Out you come there for the target top if you want it. I don't want that. We just have a quick double check. Nothing on there. 1%. All good. Now, let's get the frame sorted out. 45%. And I paid way too much. Almost 200,000 for it. I'm going to say this is going to be quite expensive. I'm going to say 1,500. Wow, I was so far off. It's actually unbelievable. There we go, 4,500. Quick look in the shop for this one here. Toyota Supra. Lots of spoilers to play around with, including a little dovetail one there. Lots of front bumpers. I think the one we've got on at the moment is the J. That's the wide body. I am going to check a few more, see if anyone else goes with the wide body, and I will let you know. Front left fenders. I'm assuming, again, one of these is specifically for the wide body. The rest of them aren't. I reckon it's probably C, but we will find out a bit later on. More fenders on the other side. Lots of hoods to play around with. I don't think that matters which one you go with if you're going to go for the wide body. So we shall have a play and we'll find out in a bit. Headlight options. Quite a few to play around with on there. I do quite like this one with the brow. There's a tinted one that looks like it's also got the brow. We've got 2 different mirror options. That's cool. Tail lights. Lots to play around with there. I do like the ones that are already on it. So they're probably going to go back on it. Rear bumpers. I don't know which one we've got on. And I don't know which one is the wide body. So we will find that one out. Antenna. Oh, but this is the rear clamshell. Body coloured hardtop. That's what I want there. Carbon heart. I suppose we could go for a carbon, but we'll find out. Rear left fenders. Oh, we got F and G. Oh, G's the one with the exhaust poking out. F is the one without. So we definitely want the G one. That looks absolutely incredible. Not the F, although it does look like the F is also for the wide body. Just not quite the same. Look at the size of that arch compared to that one. Not quite as much as this one. This one looks insane. What else have we got? Back to headlights, taillights, trunks. Not much on there. It is just what it is. You got the window and stuff, and then some windows. Not too bad, but we need to get all of this back together pretty much as it was. I'm going to play around with a few bits just to see what makes what happen, what pieces go with the wide body specifically, and what pieces you can add to the wide body and still look good. So I'll crack on with that. We'll come back in a minute, get it all back together, then we'll head over to the paint shop and see what liveries we've got. Let's get this wide boy all back together then. I haven't changed too much on it, but I will talk about a few things. The hoods, you really can put any hood you want on it, but I'm sticking with the original. I've had to play with some of the other ones, the KRC wide body. The KRC Japan one looks absolutely incredible, but we're going to stick with the standard one. The front bumpers, you can't really use any others. They don't line up with the fenders very well. The KRC Japan one kind of does a little bit, but not quite. So you can have a play, but you'll probably end up back at bumper J, which is the wide body one again. The front fenders, they have to be the C ones to fit the wide body style. So let's just get them on and them on. In with the windscreen, and then we'll just quickly do the headlights. These don't matter, any ones you want. I just went for the D ones tinted, but they do still have that brow bit that hopefully will paint body colour a little bit later on. We'll find out. In you go and in you go. The door is just what it is, same as the windows. Oh, and obviously we'll throw it in our body coloured hardtop. There's a carbon one or an antenna if you want it open, but I don't want it open. I want it closed up there. Mirrors, there are two options. I just kept it with B. I just think they look a little bit nicer on this vehicle. Rear fenders, you do realistically have to go with these ones. The other ones, I said, the KRC Japan ones will sort of fit, but it doesn't fit it quite well enough. In with them, they look fantastic as well. So let's just get the other side all there. On you go, in you go, and we'll get the mirror and the window on as well. There we go. Down to the back. Now, from my playing around just a minute ago, you can use any rear bumper, but all of them apart from this one, the J bumper, have an exhaust cutout or something that shows the exhaust on the back. And obviously we don't have any exhaust. Ours are side piped. So there we go. That's why I'm sticking with that one. It looks pretty good. The trunk, any of them will fit. I just went for the total debadged one, not even a brake light there. In with the window, we kept the same spoiler. I did try a few others. You can go for whichever one you want. I just quite like this one the best. Bit of a mean angle there, looking pretty sweet. Tail lights, as you can see there, I did swap them out to E. I just like them better. That is the only reason. They just look a little meaner and a little cooler. Quite pleased with them. I think that's everything for the body. We'll get the plate on. I called it wide boy, so that's what we've gone for. VM plate wide boy on there, looking pretty smart. We'll go in and get the interior in, and then we'll check that we have got everything before we head over to the paint shop. Steering wheel, I kept the same as steering wheel 8. It looks pretty good. But the seats, I went with my Nismo seats because why wouldn't you? I mean, I keep calling them Nismo seats. They're actually Recaro seats made for Nismo. But there we go. We'll keep calling them Nismo seats for the time being. There is no rear bench in this one. There is space for it. We just don't have it installed. In fact, you can't really see it from this angle. But yeah, there is a space for it. Now let's check if we got everything into here. 98%, so I'm definitely missing something. What am I missing? That's going to be quite hard to find out. So, oh, rear bumper J. Apparently I never repaired the rear bumper. That's what's missing. So let's just go and quickly do that into here, onto the repair table. Can't believe I missed that. Repair bumper J, thank you very much. Back and get it back on the car, put the plate back on, and then we'll check it out. I can't believe I missed that. What an idiot. But there we go, back on with the license plate, and now is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get this one over to the paint booth and see what we can do with it. Here it is then. We decided to do our Supra in the most wanted livery, courtesy of a Kingslowpoke, who commissioned all of these from French Toast. There are many different ones for various different cars, all available on the Steam Workshop. I will put a link to this one in the description below, along with the Toyota Supra mod. The mod doesn't come with any liveries themselves, but there are a couple on the workshop. If you just go into the workshop, search Supra, you'll come up with the two different Supras, this version and the newer version, plus a lot of different liveries and a few different configurations you can play around with. Pretty sweet. That's what we're going to go for. Let's get this hood open. In here is pretty white, in all honesty, against that silver, but that's not too bad. I don't mind that at all. We got a carbon hood there. We got a carbon wing, so we can splash a little bit of black on the engine if we want to. But I'm thinking a lot of this, hopefully, this colour sort of chrome, or if not, just a straight up silver chrome with a couple of splashes of this blue. Not too empowering though. I do want a lot of it chrome on this one. I think proper chromed out, stylish looking engine with a few bits of blue. If we can match this silver instead of chrome, I'll probably do that, but I think that's going to be quite hard to do on some of the parts. But that's what we're going to go for. Hopefully it's going to look incredible. The suspension will probably be a lot of black, a lot of silver, and a little splash of this blue, but I'm not 100% on that. Let's get this one back on the lift though. I'm going to get everything painted, and then we can start putting it all back together, hopefully looking awesome. Here we are then, time to start getting the Supra all back together. First off, I'm going to throw some freshly painted interior in. We got our lovely Recaro seats, or Nismo seats, with the blue down the centre and the steering wheel just blacked out, make it a bit more black round the edges there. Looking pretty good. Into normal mode. Let's get you up in the air. Let's get this spring together. It is a black, blue, and black. It is chrome blue, so it doesn't show up on the spring stand. It just shows up as a chrome. Never mind. But let's get on and start pinning all of this back together. Starting with the cross member, which is in that lovely blue there. Let's just get some rubber bushings in, and you go. And in you go there. Then we've got a steering rack in that silver chrome. And a, then a sway bar also in that silver chrome, if I could click on it right. Let's go back to the knuckle. Knuckles in the blue. Inner tie rod's also in the blue. And then the outer tie rod in that silver. Looking pretty good. Bottom and upper suspension arms are both chromed out in that lovely silver colour. It's a bit darker than the normal silver chrome, but only by a little bit. On you go there. Let's get you in, and then we'll put the shock in with its chrome blue spring on there. Looking pretty good, like that. Sway bar and link also in that chrome blue. Let's move on. The knuckle guard is in that silver chrome, and then the wheel hub is in that blue. Looking pretty good there. It's quite a dark blue because it's sort of metallic-y chromy. Brake disc, then we got the hubcap in the silver, and the brake pad and the caliper is in a beautiful chrome blue. Looking pretty nice on there. Quite pleased with that. Looking pretty sweet. We've got one more piece up the front here. That's this large intercooler in the blue again. Let's just get that on, because if you come to here, you can see it through the gaps there. Looking pretty sweet. Let's get down the back and get the rear end all together. The cross member in the blue, the knuckle in the blue as well, with the sway bar in the silver, the same as the front. In with the rubber bushings, on you go, and we swing around to this side, in you go there, looking pretty good. All of the arms are in the silver, all of the central arms are in the silver, should I say. Let's just get them all in. 1, 2, in you go, nicely done. Wrap around here. We've got a little bushing to go in here, and then another arm on top in the silver. Down you go, and then the spring cap is in the black. The spring in that chrome blue, and then the topper just in that black again as well, with the shock absorber also in the black to match the front. Rear suspension arm, this one's sticking out the side in that lovely blue. In you go with another rubber bushing, and then we come around to here. The knuckle housing, I don't know why this is called wheel hub free still, is in that silver. The rear wheel hub in the blue. In we go, and then we've got a bearing and a drive axle. The drive axle's just in the black. In we go. It looks weird because these bits go a weird sort of bluey black colour, but never mind. Sway bar end link in the blue, and then brake disc, brake pad, and then we've already seen our lovely chroma blue calipers. On you go there. Looking pretty sweet. Fuel tank, we've done that one in a blue to sort of match. It's not quite the same. These are all chromed and this bit isn't. With the fuel pump just in a black there. Looking pretty good. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of the suspension all finished. And then we'll move on to get that beautiful engine bay sorted out before we go and build that i6. When we were in the paint booth, I said I was going to splash the blue. That is definitely not splashed on there. That is a lot of blue, but it looks really sweet. I'm very pleased with that. Looking fantastic. Let's get on and sort the engine and bay out. Do let me know what you think of the suspension in the comments below as well. Coolant reservoir, in you go. A power steering reservoir and a brake servo, you go in there. Battery up there. The ECU Type A tuned one down there. And a wishy-washy reservoir just over there. We've got a fuse box, which I have just done in black. I'll fill all that in a little bit. Radiator in the same blue as the large intercooler there. And then the ABS pump in the blue and the module in the blue as well. Let's get you bolted up. Hopefully it looks pretty good. That's everything for the moment, I believe. Not 100% on that, but yes, I believe that's everything for the moment. I will come and grab the fuse box in a minute. But the engine bay is looking pretty sweet in there. Pretty white, as I say, the silver inside the engine bay. That comes out a matte colour, so it's not really silver. It's actually a white, but that's looking pretty sick in there. So we've got some lovely bits to go on the engine. I need to finish off this fuse box, so I'm going to crack on with that, and then we'll go build that inline 6 with its beautiful turbocharger. Let's get this turbocharged engine all back together then. We've got that dark silver on the block there. We've got black on the oil pan and that chrome blue on the engine head there. Let's crack on. We've got a bit more to go on. We'll start up here with the engine. No, we won't. We'll start down the front. So I've got an alternator down here in that silver sort of colour, looking pretty sweet. The power steering pump has been chromed out to be that colour, so it does lose some of its texture. And the water pump is also chromed out in that colour, but you don't have to worry about texture on that one. The water pump pulley is just in a black there. In you go. We've got an oil filter down here in a blue. It's not quite the same blue. I did try. Let's move around to the other side. In fact, that's about it. We'll get the fuel filter in that blue while we're here. But let's get everything inside this head. We've got camshafts to go in In you go and in you go. We've got spark plugs to go in as well, along with some lovely chrome blue coil covers on the top there, looking pretty sweet. Now, one thing with this engine is there are camshaft caps, 7 on each side, 14 altogether. The one I typically miss is this one at the front. But I'll crack on with that. I'll get all of this in, and then we'll move on. There we go. That's all them caps in, spark plugs in, ignition coils in on the top as well. Looking pretty sweet. We're going to go back to the front for the minute, though. We're going to get this all finished off. 2 cam gears in you go. We should have a belt down here. In you go. And then it should be another little idle roller down here. I don't want the coloured one on there. There we go. Then up here, we've got a timing cover in the blue, matching the head there, looking pretty sweet. And the bottom timing covers in the silver, matching the block, looking pretty sweet. Down here, we've got a crankshaft pulley in the blue just to separate the colours up. And an idle roller blacked out just for good measure there. With the serpentine belt blacked out so you can't see the lettering. And a belt tensioner in that metallic blue. Same as the fan. Looking pretty sweet on the front of the engine there. I was tempted to leave that one in its standard white, but I think it looks a bit better in that chromed out blue. Engine head covers are obviously in the blue. Down we go. Let's just get you in. On you go. And the one on the other side as well. In you go. Bolted up, bolted up, bolted up. Nicely done. And then the cover on the top is in the silver. There we go. Wanted to separate it up just a little bit at the top. Didn't want too much blue on the engine. I know I said I didn't want too much blue on the suspension, and look how that turned out. But there we go. Let's get the intake manifold in the silver. Let's get you all bolted up. And then we should have a fuel rail somewhere behind here. There we go. That's in the chrome blue. And so is the throttle up here. Nicely. In you go. And then on the other side, we've got the intake manifold in a chrome in that silver colour. As I said, it's a bit darker than the normal silver chrome, but not by a lot. Bolted up. There's a lot of bolts on this one. And then the turbocharger on top, also in that silver. There we go. Looking fantastic. That's it. A very quick engine to build. Very simple. I do quite like it. But hopefully, with all the performance parts, this should have a little bit of power. I'm going to grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in. Let's get this dropped into the wideboi Supra. Off the stand you come. Hopefully, it's going to look incredible. In you go. Let's see. Let's get the crane put away. Away. That's looking pretty cool. Oh, I like that. The silver isn't the same silver on the body. That is a little bit of a shame. It's got a bit more of like a satin or a matte finish on the body, even though it is a metallic. But the engine heads and stuff are all in a chrome finish. That's why it's a little bit different. But that is looking sweet. Very pleased with that. Let's get you up in the air. Up you go. Gearbox and drive shaft to go in, plus wheels and liquids and a little bit of exhaust as well. So let's get on with it. Gearbox in the same silver as the block there. Looking awesome. Lovely chrome out that. And then the starter just in a blue down the back there, just for a splash more of that. Main exhaust in the silver, and then the 2 side pieces also in that chrome silver there. Looking good. I know they don't attach. Don't complain. Sometimes you have to do these things to make the car work. But anyway, in with the drive shaft in a lovely chrome there. Looking awesome. In you go, in you go. And that's about it. Just some wheels to do. I've got to get them put together and decide what colour I'm going to go for. Liquids to top up, and then we'll have this beautiful wideboi Supra outside in the sun, ready to go drag racing. There she is then, completely finished, looking absolutely beautiful. Nice collaborative effort between Lit and Payne. Lovely work. And then the livery made by French Toast, especially for Kingslowpoke, so uploaded by him. I will put a link in the description below, both for the mod car here and the livery by Kingslowpoke. Well, not by Kingslowpoke, but uploaded by Kingslowpoke. That engine in there looks absolutely incredible. You can see the blues are in, especially in the sun, ever so slightly different, but not too bad at all. I think I've done quite a good job colour matching that. The chrome silver to the bodywork is way off, but that's because this is chrome and this is metallic, so it's never going to work. The rims here, I really love these. They're my favourite rim, the 1A. You saw that coming from a mile off. They are painted to try and attempt to match that body in a metallic. I think it's not done too bad there. Got a bit of blue on the tyres, and then them shiny chrome blue brake calipers through there. The rims at the front, this is a 20-inch rim with a 255 width and a 30 profile. A little bit bigger at the back. These are a 21-inch rim with a 275 width and a 30 profile. Still looking pretty good on there. As I said, I am very pleased with this one. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. But let's get inside and check out the interior in here. Looking fantastic. There you go. Lit on the stereo unit. So you know it's by Lit, but the wide body, this one here, was helped, I assume, I don't know, by Payne. Looking awesome. Let's get it started and see what this turbocharged i6 sounds like. Almost impossible to hear on the tick over there. That is very quiet. But let's give it some gas and see what it sounds like. Well, that's got a bit more meat to it at the top end, doesn't it? Sounding pretty good. And I do love a good old turbo whistle at the top end. Pretty spectacular. But let's get this one onto the dyno, see what the horsepower is and what our drag rating is. Here we are on the dyno with the Toyota Supra wide body and its inline 6 turbo engine. 556 factory horsepower. How much have we added today with all of our performance parts and the tuning? A gain of 417 against 556, not too bad. A gain of 75%, bringing our measured power up to 972. Not the greatest, and also not the greatest drag racing. An A696 rating, but it's all about the numbers you put down on the track, not the numbers you put down on the dyno. So let's go have a look at the gearbox tuning setup. There it is, a 2.25 ratio, 106 kilometers an hour in first gear, technically up to 515 in sixth. I don't think we'll quite get up to there, but let's see how we can do. Fully tuned ECU, no carburetor. Let's get over to the drag strip, let's enter a tournament, and let's see how well this Toyota Supra widebody will do. Here we are, back at the drag strip, now with a quite low-powered A696 wide-body Toyota Supra. Let's check out a King of the Sands tournament. Who are we going to end up with today? Let's get into A-Class, pay our entry fee, and who have we got? The Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn. Now, I tend to do quite well against this car, but normally in slightly more higher-powered cars. So we shall see. Who have we got? Kingslowpoke. Oh, in the 43 Ken Block Fiesta. That's quite a good one. Who else have we got? Killer. Nice to see you, Kapai. How you doing? And I think that's about it. So let's jump into it. See if we can beat the RTR Unicorn. No livery on it today. Looking pretty sweet, though. I do like it blacked out. It's a good-looking car. It is a good-looking car. It's got nothing on this most wanted liveried Toyota Supra wide body. So let's jump in and see if we can beat it. Onward handbrake, on the gas, and let's go. And we're off the line. We got away. That's a good start into second. Come on, little Supra. You can do it into third. I can't see it pulling away at the moment, so that's a good sign. Let's have a look. It's definitely behind us, just in that rear window there. Off you go. Let's hope it doesn't speed back up into fifth. What are we going to cross the line at today? Still there, still with us. I do quite like that, just about. And that looked like 3.55 crossing the line. It was indeed a 9.665, so a sub 10 second car at 2.43 versus 9.890 at 2.45. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And at the 1 mile, 23.748 at 355 versus a 23.988 at 358. That was a very, very close race. Wow. Let's get into the next one. Well, Kingslowpoke's still here. Good work, my friend, especially as we're using the livery that you've requested and paid so much for. And who else have we got? We're against the Ford Fiesta Gymkhana 3, and sadly, looks like Pi went out. What a shame. Let's get into the next one, see if we can beat the Ford Fiesta Gymkhana 3. One of the best liveries in the game. Sorry, not the most wanted. The Ken Block livery over there. I love that livery. One of my favourites. We are going to build it very, very soon. I just need to find one. I haven't found one in ages. I keep trying to find one, but I can't get it. So I just need to wait for that one to appear. But let's see if we can beat it in our wide body Supra. Let's go. Off the line. We didn't jump the lights. Always impressed by that. Into second. Into third, and to be fair, the Ford Fiesta hasn't pulled away, so I'm very happy about that. Let's get into fourth. Let's have a look. I can't see it. I don't know where it is. That's a bit worrying when you can't see it. Into fifth. What are we going to cross the line at this time? Will it be exactly the same? Will we do a little bit better or a little bit worse? I can't see the Fiesta still. 3.55 again, that looked like. Let's have a look. 9.764 this time. Not as good as last time with a 9.665. 244 kilometers an hour, though. I mean, we absolutely smashed that Fiesta off the line. 10.265 at 221 with a 1 mile at 23.845. It's still not as quick as the last one, but the same speed. Let's get into another one. Sadly, Kingslowpoke is out as well now, but we have got a McLaren F1 versus the Wayne-mobile Batmobile. Then my Toyota Supra wide body versus the Audi R8 Lit Edition. That's a pretty cool match. Let's get into it and see what we can do. Beautiful looking Lit Edition Audi R8 there. Nice in that metallic red. Quite liking that. Can we beat it in the wide body Supra by the same modder? Let's get in. Let's find out. Oh, we jumped the lights. Oh, I don't believe it. We're out. We jumped the lights. What an actual shame. We'll never know if we could beat the Audi R8. I'm a bit disappointed with myself there. I do apologise to everyone at home watching. We got 2 good times. Should we do another one? Let's do another one. We'll do a quick 1v1 and see what we can get. There we go. Our payout of 2,250. Minus our 1,000 entry fee, we still made 1,250. But the winner was the Audi R8 Lit Edition. I'm glad we didn't actually get started because I think that would have demolished us. Because I'm pretty confident the McLaren F1 would have demolished us. Let's do one more. Back to here we go. We don't want another competition. No, we want a 1v1. 1 mile, starting on the Unicorn. 3 randoms. 1, 2, 3. We end up against a Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake with a 1,000 horsepower upgrade. This could be a bit of a challenge. A 713 rating on that one. Let's get into it and see if we can beat this one. That Super Snake Mustang looks pretty good on the start line. I'm hoping we can beat it. I'm not sure. I haven't driven one of these Super Snakes yet in the drag race anyway. So let's get in. Let's find out. Let's go. Without jumping the lights. Thank you for that. Into second. Come on. We can do it. Into third. Are we going to beat this Mustang? We're already way in front of it by the looks of it. Into fourth. Let's just keep looking where we're going rather than behind us. Come on, little Supra, you can do it. Into fifth. Where is he? Still quite far back. I think we've got this one in the bag, if I'm honest. Hopefully, what are we going to get? Let's find out. 9.816. Still doesn't beat our first run of 9.665, but never mind, always worth it. And a 23.916. Again, our first run was 23.748. Still with a speed of 355 kilometers an hour, though. Let's get the Supra onto the speeder board. Oh, maybe, actually. I'm not even sure. 9.665. I don't even know if that makes it on the speeder board. Let's go and find out if the Supra makes it onto the speeder board and say goodbye to this beautiful wide-body Supra. Sadly, the wide-body Toyota Supra didn't quite make it onto the speeder board. Literally 11th place it made it to, with a time of 9.665 to the quarter of a mile and 23.748 to the 1 mile, with a top speed of 355 kilometers an hour. Not quite good enough for the speeder board, but only just off it. Not too bad at all. Let's go and see it before we say goodbye to this one and sell it off, ready for the next one. Let's just get it all opened up. Looking absolutely fantastic. I really am pleased with this one. That engine looks absolutely incredible. This is like my SEMA build. This is what I would build to take to SEMA, something like that. A good, proper big car show. We'll call it my SEMA build wide body Supra. I am loving that. Let's talk some facts and figures about this one. If you stuck around for long enough at the beginning, you would have seen that I bought the car for 193,136, and at the point I could sell it for a loss of 50,111. Didn't know if we were going to be able to claw that one back or not. Nice wide boy plate on there. We've since spent another 66,121 getting this car to how you see it right now. Looking absolutely fabulous. Our SEMA build looking great. Now, that puts our total spend at 259,257. A little over $250,000 for this one. Wow, that's quite a lot of money for a wide-body Supra that can't even win a drag tournament. That might have been my fault for jumping the lights, but never mind. I still think we'd have lost to that McLaren F1. Can we make it a profit from this one? Can we make that 50k back from the beginning? It is all now 100% complete. 120,000 kilometers on there. We barely added anything at all to this one. The engine now running at 972 horsepower, a gain of 75%. Not bad at all. Can we make a profit? Yeah, quite easily. With a sale price of 506,300, take away our 259,257, leaves us with a profit of 247,643. I'm going to say that could be wrong. My handwriting's pretty bad, I'll be honest. I was making notes. Still, about $250,000 profit. That's a pretty good. Plus our drag winnings, 2,250. Obviously, we paid 1,000 to enter. So that leaves us with 248,293 profit from this beautiful wide body Supra by Lit and Payne. Collaboration, we love it. Link in the description below to the car and to this beautiful livery uploaded by Kingslowpoke, made by French Toast. Anyway, off you go, Supra. Definitely been a pleasure, and I love the profit. Thank you very much. Should bring us just about up to 25 million now. I'm trying to point the mouse in the top right corner. It doesn't work. But let's move on. What have we got next? Well, my favourite car of all time is the Ford Mustang. If you've watched this channel for long enough, you will know that anyway. I've got a Mustang in the shop just there, and there's another Mustang up here as well. And now we're going to have another Mustang. This is the Drag Edition. This is the 69 Ford Mustang Drag Edition, modded in by Payne. Absolutely fantastic. We got this from the semi-decent auction house. It looks pretty good. Everything around 50%, not too bad at all. Did we get a good deal? We did. 25,706 is what I paid, and we could already sell it for a profit of 5,574. Pretty good. This one's got in it the V8 double overhead cam supercharged engine with 969 factory horsepower. May change it to the 2-carb overhead valve supercharged. Not sure. We will find out in the next episode. That's it for today, and you right there, I'm talking to you. You made it to the end. Thank you so much. It's the best way you can support this channel is watching the content. But if you do fancy helping a bit more, you could always click the subscribe button. You could always leave me a lovely little comment. Leave a like and share this video as far and as wide as you want to with all your friends, especially if you think they'll enjoy it. That's it for today, though. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.